All right, let's talk about something that's, well, it's tough to talk about. The people who are hurting you the most right now, they're probably not your enemies. They're not some stranger on the street. No, they're the people who smile at you, look you right in the eye, and tell you they love you. And honestly, that's what makes it so incredibly dangerous. And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's not some big, dramatic punch. It's a quiet, slow leak. You just wake up one morning and you feel empty. You feel drained, and you can't even point to the exact moment it started. And that confusion, that exhaustion, it makes you start to think the problem is you. So that's the real question here. In all that fog, how do you get some clarity? How do you figure out who's actually on your team? Because for way too long, a lot of us have been calling the wrong things love. We've confused being tolerated with being cared for. We thought loyalty meant we had to stay silent while we were getting hurt. Well, that stops right now. So what we're going to do is build a little framework, a checklist, really, something clear you can use to see who's genuinely in your corner and who's just standing nearby. You see, real care isn't some big mystery. It's not invisible. It actually leaves evidence. It leaves tracks. And once you know what you're looking for, you'll see it everywhere. And more importantly, you'll see its absence just as clearly. So let's get right into it. We're going to go through 6 specific things that someone who truly cares about you will just never do. And I want you to pay extra close attention to that last one. It's the one that flies under the radar for most people, and it can literally change everything. Okay, imagine this. You are completely wiped out. It's been a long, hard week, and a friend asks you to go out, but you just don't have it in you. So you say, you know what? I can't tonight. I just really need to rest. Now, what happens next? That reaction, it tells you everything you need to know. Someone who really, truly cares, they'll say, oh, of course, get some rest, we'll catch up soon. They actually want you to be healthy and whole. But someone else, they'll give you the cold shoulder, the silent treatment. Maybe you get one-word answers for the next 3 days. See what they're doing? They're quietly training you. They're teaching you that your well-being matters less than their wants. You learn to make yourself smaller just to keep the peace. That isn't a friendship, my friend. That's a leash with a smile on it. You know, when you really trust someone, you share the real stuff. A fear you have, a mistake you made, a wound from your past that still stings. You hand it over to them because you feel safe. But the true test is what they do with that fragile piece of you later on. A person who cares protects that vulnerability, even when they're mad at you. They get that you trusted them with something precious. But other people, well, it turns out they were just gathering information. They were collecting ammunition. And the minute an argument gets hot, they'll throw that exact secret right back in your face, just to win. The second that happens, they have told you everything. They were never a safe place. Okay, this one's a little more subtle, but it is so important. Real kindness is free. It doesn't come with an invoice attached. It doesn't get brought up later like a debt you have to pay back. It's given, and that's it. And the contrast here is just fascinating. Someone who genuinely cares, gives, and then they completely let it go. They probably forget they even did it. But the other kind of person, they keep a very detailed mental receipt. And at the first sign of a disagreement, they'll whip it out and say, well, after everything I've done for you. What they gave you wasn't a gift. It was a deposit. They were building leverage. And let's be clear, kindness with strings attached is not kindness. It's a contract you never, ever agreed to sign. Oh man, this one will show you who's real faster than almost anything else. Look, when you're winning, when you're celebrating a new job or a new relationship, there's going to be a crowd. Everyone loves standing next to a bonfire. But life isn't always exciting. Things get hard. Things get boring. The real question is, who stays when the fire dies down? The people who truly care, they're not there for the show. They're the ones who sit with you in the quiet, in the winter of your life. Their presence alone just says, you're not a burden. I'm right here. But the others, they're just an audience. They only care about the performance, not the person. And as soon as your show is over, believe me, they are out the door looking for the next one. You've grown. We all have. You've made mistakes. You learned from them, and you are not the same person you were 5 years ago. But some people seem determined to keep that old version of you alive, and they bring it up in every single disagreement. Someone who cares about you allows you to evolve. They celebrate who you are today. When an issue is resolved, it's actually resolved. It's done. But other people, They file it away like a weapon for a future fight. They use your past as proof that you'll never really change. And suddenly, you're stuck in this exhausting loop, defending a person you aren't anymore. That's not a relationship. That's a holding cell that's just been dressed up to look like a friendship. Okay, so those first 5 signs were all about things people do, their actions you can see. This last one, this one is different. It's not about what they do, it's about how they make you feel. And because it's a feeling, it's quiet and it's hidden, which is exactly what makes it so powerful. This is it, the final hidden sign. And I promise you, once you see this, you will never be able to unsee it. And that feeling, it has a name. It's called performing for love. It's that constant low-humming anxiety that you're just one wrong move, one bad joke, one off day away from losing their approval. It's the feeling that you always have to be on to be accepted. Does any of this sound familiar? You find yourself rehearsing conversations in your head before you even have them. You replay things you said over and over, checking to see if you messed up. You feel this constant pressure to be funnier, to be more interesting, to be impressive. Because deep down, you're worried that if you're just you, it won't be enough for them to keep you around. That is one of the most draining ways a person can live. And this right here is maybe the most important thing I'll say today. If you feel that way, the problem isn't you. You are not too sensitive, you are not too anxious, you are not asking for too much. You are just asking the wrong people. Real care, real love, it's steady. It's a quiet place. It doesn't make you wonder if you're still loved today. With the right people, you just get to be. And you just know that you belong. So let's pull all of this together. Let's reframe what we should actually be expecting from the people we let into our lives. So here they are, all 6 laid out. They don't punish your limits. They don't use your pain as a weapon. Their kindness is a gift, not a loan. They stay when life gets boring. They let your past stay in the past. And they never, ever make you feel like you have to perform to earn their love. And I really need you to hear this loud and clear. This list is not a wish list. This isn't some fantasy of a perfect relationship. This is the floor. This is the absolute bare minimum of what it looks like when someone genuinely cares about you, and it's what you deserve. In a real, healthy relationship, nobody hands you a script. You don't have to memorize your lines just to be allowed to stay. You just show up as you are, and that is enough. So the real takeaway here is this. Walk off that stage. Stop auditioning for a role in someone else's life. The people who are meant for you don't require a performance.